Fuck my dick. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Days of Darkness, and welcome to my review of Jason Goes to Hell. This one came out in 1993. It's starring John D. Lime, hope I pronounced that correctly, Carrie Keegan, and Stephen Williams, and was written and directed by Adam Marcus. Now, man, I feel like people, including myself, I feel like the expectation was for me to come into this review and just absolutely shit on this movie. But I gotta say, while there is a lot of bad in this, don't get me wrong, this is not a very good movie. However, after the disappointment of part 7 and part 8, I gotta say, for as crazy and downright sometimes dumb this movie is, I had a really good time with this one, guys. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Jason Goes to Hell is absolutely insane. It is an anomaly almost. It doesn't. The best way I can describe it without getting in the spoilers would be for any comic nerds out there. And shout out to my buddy BJ for actually turning me on to this world of comics. For any comic nerds out there, everyone always knows the Elseworld stories or the What If comics, and to me, this feels like one big What If comic for the Friday the 13th franchise. And I'm not going to spoil, I really don't want to spoil anything in this because I feel like this is a movie that if you somehow don't know what it is and you're not quite sure what to expect, I would really encourage just going into this one with very, very low expectations, as I did. And also, I would recommend going into this just not knowing anything. Obviously, if you're a fan of the franchise, you've heard people bitch ad nauseum about this movie. But I'm not gonna do that. There's definitely stuff in here I don't like, and I'm not very fond of, and we will get into all of that. But man, guys, I absolutely recommend you see this. There's no doubt in my mind. It's dumb, it's stupid, it is not canon as far as I'm concerned, but it's just a wild and crazy fucking slasher movie, and it's great. It's a strong idea, like the premise they have, it is a cool idea, I will say that. And without getting into what that idea is, it's just not a good idea for Jason. Uh, there's plenty of bright spots, but one of them being Kane Hodder as well. Kane Hodder again reprises the role of Jason Voorhees. And also gets a little cameo as not himself, but he also gets a little cameo outside of the suit, which I really liked seeing that. But yeah, Kane Hodder does a great job as Jason for what we get of Jason. And again, you're like, what the hell? We'll get into it. Don't you worry. But yeah, guys, I'm not going to ramble much longer. I just want to get into the spoiler section because I'm really excited to talk about this one. This one's batshit insane, and I'm hyped, and I'm ready. So, without further ado, let's just spoil the shit out of this motherfucker. Alright, spoiler time, your ass has been warned. Now, let's just start off with the opening of this movie. I really like it. I think the opening is extremely strong. Uh, I think does a really good job of taking you from standard Friday the 13th, mischief to something completely fucking different. Like, it immediately communicates to you that, all right, motherfucker, this is gonna be not your dad's Friday the 13th movie. Which I really respect the direction that Adam Marcus took with this. I don't necessarily agree with this, but I understand that desire to do something different and reinvigorate and change. I don't think you went about it in the right way, but you know, I think for what we got, I think this is a really, really fun movie. I would not necessarily, it's not a good movie, but I would not call it a bad movie either. It's just this fucking weird anomaly, craziness. Anyways, opening. So, standard Friday the 13th chicanery. We get a woman driving down the Camp Crystal Lake, and she disrobes, goes to hop in this very dingy looking shower, I guess because Camp Crystal Lake has been abandoned for so long at this point. But the lights cut off, so her shower is interrupted, and it's Jason, and he quickly makes himself known and attempts to slaughter this young woman. There is a big chase that ensues, and before we get into the little twist here in the opening, just to briefly talk about the look of Jason, for what we see of him. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I think it's unique. You know, it's like that macaroni painting your kid does, and you're like, okay, we'll put it on the side of the fridge. Like, it doesn't look horrible, but it doesn't look great either. I mean, it's a very plausible look for him, though. Like, and keep in mind, I can't, what am I trying to say? Continuity, that's the fucking word. Continuity's dead at this point. There's no sense in trying to find continuity. It's fucking dead and buried. It doesn't exist. It never really was taken too seriously in this franchise anyways, but now it is just gone. Part 8 to Part 9, which is this one, there's just nothing. Just, like I said, it is a total what-if comic. But anyways, it's a plausible look for him, though. It's, you know, if you drown in a lake, I'm assuming he was down at the bottom of the lake in this universe for a very long time, your body gets very, very bloated and very, you know, obviously gross and soggy. And the idea they had to actually have the mask almost embed itself into his head, I think is a really cool idea. You know, he has a bunch of hair straggling. You know, he's very fucked up looking in this one. We have strayed very far from like Part 3 and Part 4 look for Jason. He is just a very fucked up looking guy. I think that's what they were going for in these later entries of like, how fucked up can we make Jason look? I think Part 7 takes that trophy, but as far as like, you know, battle damage or whatever you want to say, but Part 9, I lean more on the side of not liking it, just because it's almost too out of left field, and we'll get into out of left field with the next one. But as far as this is concerned, it's not a horrible look for him. It's not at the top of my list by any means. But anyways, so this young lady is still running through the woods, and she dives for cover, and it's quickly revealed that she was an undercover FBI agent. And these men with guns, I don't know, I guess you'd call them FBI, Special Forces, whatever. They're guys with guns. And they blow Jason to shit. He is fucking dead. Like, he's gone. There's nothing left. Like, they blow him up. Like, he's done. He's gone. And he's never coming back. Unless a mortician does some fairly odd shit, which we will get into in a moment. But man, it makes you wonder. It's like, this guy's been on the loose for how long? And like it's established in this movie that this guy has been, you know, Jason has been doing this for years, and I forget what the body count is that they say in this, but it's up there. So you'd think they would have just done this sooner, but I'm thinking too much, and this movie is not a movie where you should think very much in order to enjoy it. But it was cool to see. You know, my favorite Jason death of all time is going to be from the final chapter. Which, ironically, this one's subtitle, since it couldn't be called Friday the 13th, was called Jason Goes to Hell: The Final Friday. So we get another final. It's not the final one, as you'll see in like 2 or 3 videos from now. It is not the last one. But anyways, I really liked seeing Jason just get blown to shit. Like I love the big oaf, but it was cool to just see him get absolutely obliterated. Like he got killed. Like he's done. But so that immediately kind of thrusts you into this new crazy story. And we then transition to the mortician's office, and this first guy, man, on this rewatch, because like I had always just assumed that, okay, this guy's a cannibal and he just eats the wrong heart. But on my rewatch, it looks as though he just, I don't know, something about the heart and the sound effects they were using. It sounds like something was calling to him. You know, the heart, all they needed was a little mouth to pop on the heart and just be like, eat me. This is why I don't make movies. But no, there's definitely something calling to him, and he picks this heart up and fucking... I remember, because I hadn't seen this movie in so long, I remember him just taking a single bite out of it. No, this dude chows down. Like, he fucking eats this thing. And then we get the big kibosh, the big reveal of Jason now being a body jumper. That's right, the soul and mind of Jason Voorhees is now inside of this mortician, and Jason's a body jumper now. Like I said, it's a really, really, really cool idea. But when you have such an iconic character with such an iconic look, you don't do that. You know, like, it's just, I'm all for new and crazy shit. I'm all for it. I love when filmmakers take risks. But this is, like, too out there for me. For Jason. If they would have had just some slasher or some fuck all, you know, whatever, just make someone up, then he gets blown up, and then you do it from there, I fucking guarantee you the people who talk so much shit on this movie would praise it, and they would love it. I'm getting a lot of Halloween 3 vibes here. Of if Halloween 3 Season of the Witch was just called Season of the Witch, the people who bitch about it would fucking love it. And it's the same thing here. That is such a cool idea, and they make it so, like, they even add some detail to it. It's not like he just wants to body jump, he has to, because the soul of Jason Voorhees is so decayed and so decrepit and so evil that any host he is inside of, they can't take it. Like, that physical vessel can't take it, so he has to constantly jump from body to body. So it even gives a reason as to why he is doing this constantly and why he doesn't just stay in the mortician's body, because the mortician's body is literally decaying as he is walking around killing people. Just a really cool concept. I'm a big fan of it. Not for Jason Voorhees. I really wish this wasn't connected to Friday the 13th at all. And I wish they would have just made it its own thing. But anyways, there's also some odd things. Now I say that I love that premise, and I do, but not for Jason, because there's some things and some liberties that are taken with the character of Jason Voorhees that just aren't Jason things. Like, it would not surprise me, and I don't think it was. I think this was always intended to be a Friday the 13th movie, but it would not surprise me if it was just some script, or if Adam Marcus just had some idea in his head, and then when he got the opportunity to do a Friday the 13th movie and was told by the studio, hey, we want something different, it wouldn't surprise me if he just picked up that script and be like, I'll just make it Jason because there's some stuff in this script and in this movie that just doesn't apply to that character for me at all, and it doesn't work, and it kind of hampers it a little bit. The two main points of contention I have as far as that gripe is concerned is the shaving scene. There's like this very um I I don't know how to explain it. I guess Jason just didn't like that this guy had a beard, and so he straps him to a table, naked, like ass naked, straps this dude to a table, and proceeds to shave his face. Which, when the hell would Jason have learned to fucking shave, first of all? And it and why does he have to be naked? Granted, I'm not close minded. Male nudity doesn't fucking bother me. I'm not, I don't care. That's not my gripe. I'm fine with it, but that doesn't seem like a Jason thing. Like it just it just doesn't seem like something you'd do. So that was definitely weird and just very out of character for him. And really total ADHD moment. Part 8 also has plenty of out of character moments as well. So I guess at this point they just are kind of taking liberties, which I don't like because Jason's my favorite slasher of all time, damn it. Put some respect on that man's name. Anyways, and then the other one, which is, in my opinion, the worst of the two little just weird things that they do with that character, is there's a scene towards the end where you have that standard, like, one's a robot or one's the clone scene, or however it's been done so many times, where there's two people and one of them is the imposter, or shout out to Among Us, and like they're both arguing. It's like, no, it's him, kill him. It's like, no, it's him, and that happens here. But the thing is, Jason doesn't talk. He doesn't speak. He's mute. He does not say a word ever, except if you count part 8. Jason Takes Manhattan with the fucking mommy shit. Still fucking makes me angry. Anyways, but yeah, Jason doesn't speak. So what the fuck is that all about? Like, I really think this was intended to just be its own movie, and then they got the license for Friday the 13th, and Adam Marcus was like, hey, let's just make it a Jason movie. Whatever, man. That is not a fact, mind you. That is not a fact whatsoever. But that's just my own theorizing it. But it's just doesn't really jive with me. And that's kind of the story with this movie. Is like, there's good ideas and there's cool things here and there, but there's enough bogging this one down to where it definitely doesn't get a gold star from me. That's for sure. Another thing I like about this is I like that they make Jason out to be an icon. They make him out to be this larger than life figure, and then when the news breaks that he is actually dead, there's the diner, which is a main location for this movie. There's a diner where they're making Jason burgers and like fries and shit like that, and oh no, it's like Jason fingers and like hockey mask burgers or Voorhees burgers or whatever the fuck. They're making money off of that name, and like the name Jason Voorhees is synonymous in America, and it's kind of what I was bitching about in part 8 of this woman just not knowing who Jason is. Like, how do you not know who Jason is? And so the fact that this movie capitalizes on the obvious fame that Jason would have, I really like. I really, really like that. I think it's a cool premise. I have not attempted to make a Voorhees burger. I definitely want to try to at some point. I think it's so cool that she like digs it's kind of gross because she's working in food service, but she just digs out the she digs out the eyes and then the couple holes in the mask with her fucking fingernail. Cool stuff. Like lots of cool little fan moments in this one for me. And like I said, I know my thing is like, oh, I don't think this was intended to be a Jason movie. I could be totally wrong on that once again, but and stuff like this kind of makes me think maybe I am wrong. And if I am wrong, then like, holy shit, they did not get the Jason Voorhees character at all. But fuck it, who cares? Anyways, so I really like that he's like this icon and like he's just almost famous in like a bad way. But anyways, let's just hop into some of those characters, huh? I like most of them. I don't think there's really any. They're certainly better than Part 7 and Part eight's characters. There's a lot to care about, especially with the main two protagonists. Forgive me, oh YouTube gods, I don't remember their names. But John D. Lee Mays and Carrie Keegan's characters recently split up. And they have a child together, so that's you get a very emotionally, honestly, one of the more emotional moments in the whole series, where Lee May's character sees his baby for the very first time in the back of this dingy little diner, and like she's in a box, and he's just kind of looking at her, and it's a very sweet scene, you know, and you get a lot of cool little romantic and also comedic scenes. Lee May's character also has a friend who is a cop, and you get some nice buddy comedy. Sometimes they're at each other's throats, other times they're trying to help each other out. And you know, you get some cool character moments with him. Keegan's character also has some really solid moments where she's like trying to get away from her ex-boyfriend, and has a lot of cool emotional moments. She definitely conveys fear very well. Definitely not my favorite final girl in the world, but she is definitely cool. And I like both of them a lot. Everyone else is inoffensive. There's really no one. I love the husband and the wife in the diner. I think they're absolutely great. Pookie, I think, is the guy's name, and I cannot remember the robust woman's name at all. But they're both a whole lot of fun. And that's the thing. All the characters in this are just real cool character writing here. I'm not gonna act like they're the most. They're characters with the most depth in the world or anything like that. They're really not, but I like all of them. Before I get into my character of the film, another thing I wanted to mention about about this movie is they insert a big reveal with Keegan's character that she is the niece. Yeah, she's the niece of Jason Voorhees, or like step niece, or I think her mom was like Jason's half sister or something weird. There's a blood relative thing going on, and again, for the 9th movie in a franchise, and you just now reveal something like this, I get it. They wanted to add something, you know, again, they wanted it to be different, they wanted it to be new, but it just seems kind of tacked on. And it makes sense, you know, the whole thing of her having to be the one to kill Jason because of like a bloodline thing, and you know, it's all fine, but it's not. Jason shouldn't have any relatives. He shouldn't have any family. He shouldn't be going to be receiving family barbecue reunions. He shouldn't be receiving family reunion invitations in his mailbox in Crystal Lake. Like it kind of lessens some of the mystique about him, in my opinion. Like, I just like the idea that the only family he ever had was his mom. I like that his dad is completely shrouded in mystery. You don't really know anything about him. In this movie, it gets revealed that his dad's name was Elias, which I think is a really cool name, Elias Voorhees. And that's all well and good, but I don't like the sister angle. I just don't think it works. I don't know when Pamela would have had another child. Where was the child? What was the child up to in part 1 through fucking 6? It just doesn't. It just doesn't add up. You know, I don't like it. And again, uh, canon and continuity doesn't exist anymore with this franchise, so I shouldn't be bitching about it too much, but it's just not, it just doesn't work for me. But anyways, on to my favorite character in this movie, without a shadow of a single doubt in my mind, Creighton fucking Duke. One of the best characters in the franchise. I'll just say it right now. Like, I adore Creighton Duke. I think he is hilarious. He's just enough crazy to like be a suitable, like, you have to be a little crazy. Sorry about the dog. You have to be a little crazy in order to be pursuing Jason Voorhees. So I like that they did that with him. But yeah, he's a bounty hunter and he's on the hunt for Jason Voorhees. Again, doesn't make any sense. Where was he for the last whatever amount of years? Doesn't make sense, but whatever. But he's on the hunt for Jason Voorhees, and there's even a little moment at the end there, close to his unfortunate demise, where he goes like, "Oh, remember me, asshole?" And I'm like, are they trying to imply that he was a character in another movie, or it just doesn't make any sense? But there's like implied history between those two, and he just has all of this random knowledge about Jason Voorhees. Like, he just knows everything. It's never really explained how he knows or why he knows. He just knows. So, but, you know, plot holes and everything be damned. Stephen Williams' performance as Creighton Duke is priceless. It's incredible. I love the interview that he has on the news with the reporter asking him what the name Jason Voorhees makes him think of, and he goes, "Well, that makes me think of a." It fucking makes me laugh even like trying to say it. He goes, "Well, that makes me think of a girl and a little girl in a pink dress sticking a hot dog through a donut." It's like, what the fuck? Why the fuck would you say that? It's just, it doesn't make any sense. But it's like something that would be a throwaway line to anybody else. Stephen Williams takes that and just cranks it up to 11. And I think this would have been a throwaway character if it was done by anyone else but him. I also love the jail cell scene where Lee May keeps getting his fingers broken for more information, and every time he wants another question answered, he goes, "Oh, that's a very expensive question," and you know he has to break another one of his fingers. It's brutal shit, but I absolutely love it, and man, just a fucking great character. I would absolutely be down for some sort of Creighton Duke bounty hunter spin-off something. I'm sure the audience for that would be fairly small. Maybe not, but fuck, man, I'd be there. I'm there for it. You know, I'd go to the theater. I'd pay my money to see that. Implying that movie theaters are gonna be around. I don't like to think about that though. Anyways, let's talk about that ending. So the whole idea behind the family angle, which that's another thing, is the family angle plays a huge part in this movie and the climax as well. Is there is just a dagger. There's just a random dagger that when put in the hands of a Voorhees family member, it immediately transforms into this weird He-Man looking fucking thing. And they have to stab Jason in the heart in order to truly, truly kill him. Until it's time for him to go to space. But anyways, so, you know, they go to the Voorhees estate, which Okay. I always kind of pictured Jason Voorhees living in a, you know, not necessarily in a cabin, but like, I don't know. It's a weird place to picture him, because obviously that's the thing people don't think of is Jason wouldn't have necessarily lived at the camp. It's possible that he would have, but I don't think he would have just lived at the camp. I mean, he probably had a house at some point, or it could be too that this was a family heirloom from fucking years ago, and I'm thinking again way too much about this, but it's how I operate. But anyways, they go to the Voorhees estate, and they find the dagger, and there's a brawl that ensues between Lee May's character and Jason Voorhees, who is now resurrected through his sister, and we get good old classic Jason Voorhees, played by Kane Hodder once again for the final act of this movie, or the final couple minutes of the last act of this movie. And yeah, and we get we get a pretty even fight. Like, I think John Lee May does an amazing job in this movie. I think he's a good actor, but he doesn't strike me as someone who would be able to hold their own with Jason. When you have Creighton Duke, who's a bigger, more intimidating figure, and gets disappointingly killed pretty quickly, and one of the weaker kills of this movie, but one of the few weak kills, and we'll talk about that in Kill of the Film. But yeah, and then this character who's kind of scrawny, kind of nerdy looking, is able to hold his own against this undead fucking killing machine. Little, again, I'm talking about a film franchise with an undead hockey mask wearing killer, so the suspension of disbelief should already be there, but this is stretching it a little bit, even for me. But yeah, so Jason does get the better of him in the end, and he ends up getting ready to kill him, but then Keegan's character takes the dagger, stabs him in the heart, and these demons literally drag Jason Voorhees to hell. So we get our, the title is apt. Jason does go to hell. It takes quite a long time for him to get there, but he gets there. And yeah, and it's all happy dory. They end up kissing, and they're all, oh yay, they made up, hallelujah, and literally walking off into the sunset, or sunrise, actually. But and then we get the big ending, and what a lot of people will watch this movie back for. Jason's mask is just lying there in the dirt, which is a little weird because his mask, which is embedded into his head, got dragged down under the ground, and it's somehow just back. Again, I'm thinking too much. But it's kind of buried a little bit. They just have a random dog run on the set and kind of uncover it a little bit, and then he just runs away. So I'm like, okay, whatever works, I guess. But yeah, Jason's mask is just kind of laying there, and then we get the Freddy glove. We get the glove that just springs up right out of the ground. I guess his arm is pretty long to reach up from hell to get something that's up on the earth, implying hell is underground and not in a different realm. But again, wow, I am analyzing this way too much. Anyways, fucking Freddy's glove comes out of the ground and drags Jason's mask down to hell with him, and implying that, holy shit, in 1993, the implication is, oh my god, we are going to get a fucking Freddy versus Jason movie. And we would. It would just take 10 years to get there. And I don't think people were expecting that part of it. But I would have loved to have been in theaters to see that reaction of people seeing Freddy's glove rise up from the ground and just drag his mask. And you get that awesome Robert Englund laugh at the end, and man, I wasn't alive at the time. I was born in '97, but I can't imagine anything less than pandemonium. People were probably freaking the fuck out, and I would have too. But anyways, and don't you worry, we will be talking about Freddy vs. Jason soon. But we still have to talk about the one in between, and we will get to that one here in a minute. But anyways, so that'll do it for my review portion of the film. Fun movie. Not a good movie, not a bad movie, but just fun, you know? I don't consider this a waste of time. The pacing was frantic as hell too. It flew by like that. And I was like, holy shit, this movie's almost over. But a fun one. I absolutely would recommend this. I would not advise looking at it in a canon perspective or try to think of continuity or anything. You know, just sit back with a couple buddies or your girlfriend or whatever, boyfriend, who cares, and just enjoy. Because it's absolutely fucking crazy. But we are not quite done yet. The review portion is done, but we still have to talk about the blood, the guts, the good stuff. We gotta talk about my kill of the film. Stick around. As I've previously stated, Jason Goes to Hell is not known as the best entry in the series by any means. But holy shit, it is arguable that this is the bloodiest. Where do I even begin? I mean, fuck, dude. We have bones snapping out of arms. We have people exploding. We have bodies melting. We have just so much amazing quality Carnage candy in this. And I love every single part of it. Every single bit of it, I should say. Just 4 honorable mentions. I had to put 4 in. I mean, there's just too many to count. And honestly, I'm not talking about enough of them, really. But these are the 4 ones that stood out to me. Yeah, the 4 ones that stood out to me. Sorry, I was like forgetting how to count for a second. The 4 ones that stood out to me that aren't necessarily my kill of the film, but we still gotta talk about them. Number 1, the the wife in the diner who just gets, I believe, Jason, who's now in the body of the Keegan character's boyfriend's body. He's in the newscaster's guy's body. He's in the reporter's body. Anyways, he reels back. She's trying to save her Pookie, her husband, from getting his face deep fried, which she's far too late. But she's still trying to, like, you know, she's hitting him and punching him, and all of a sudden he just reels back with his elbow and knocks her right in the chin, and her jaw, like, I don't even know how to describe it. Her jaw, like, inverts and, like, goes inside of her head. And I'm like, oh my god. Like, it looks kind of hokey, but, like, it's still, like, for 93, that's fucking brutal. That is, like, fucking, oh, it's great. I love the guy. It's the second proxy that Jason leaves to enter the reporter, and you get to see what happens to the body after Jason leaves. And as I previously mentioned, the bodies cannot take that decrepit and that evil of a soul. So when he leaves the body, it literally just melts, and we get some fucking amazing, incredible body horror. Like, some of the, it's like, oh god, it's fucking brutal. I wouldn't say it rivals, like, The Thing or anything like that, but it's like The Thing's here, and this is like here, like somewhere in here. It's fucking bloody as hell. He, like, at one point, he, like, lets his jaw sit on the floor for a while, and then he comes back up, and his jaw just doesn't come with him. His lower jaw just sticks to the ground. So his jaw falls off, and his eyes are fucking melting, and it's absolutely wonderful. And yeah, I know I'm fucked up. Leave me alone. Anyways, so that's a cool one. Uh, Jason's death at the beginning is really, really cool. Not a big fan of his death at the end. It's kind of hokey and corny, and I don't really like it. But seeing him get blown up, like blown to shreds, was really fucking cool. It's definitely the most dead he has ever been in this series. And the probe kill, it's the first kill of the coroner after he eats the heart, and it's his like partner, and he's like talking to Jason's severed head, like just talking shit to him. Meanwhile, Jason is like actually standing behind him, listening to him talk all of this shit, and he shows him the probe, and he's like, "Yeah, that's a probe." Fucking grabs him, slams him, like clears all of the Jason bits off of the corner table, slams him down, and just puts that thing right into the back of his head or his neck or something. You're not really ever shown. But that's not the part of the kill that stands out to me. While it is cool just hearing that probe just what I love is seeing, like, he forced him down on that table so hard, and it's like a mesh table, or like a pattern. It has holes in the fucking table. So when he forces his face down in it, I'm guessing he stabbed him in the back of the head. So he uses so much force that his face, like, pushes through the table, and you get this gross fucking checkerboard, like, it pushes deep too, like it impales his head, basically is the only way I can really describe it. And when he comes back out, you just see these like square bits just like fucking it's disgusting, but it's great. So many other really cool ones. Again, you know, Pookie getting his face deep fried, and just all this crazy shit. It's a great movie for gore. But without a doubt, the kill of the film to me is the tent kill. And what I mean when I say the tent kill is there's these three teens, you know, as as Lee May's character says, going to smoke some dope and have some premarital sex and get slaughtered. And but they're going out there to basically celebrate that Jason's dead, and he's not. And they find that out very quickly. The first girl is dispatched of pretty quickly and rather unremarkably. But then the other two, it's a guy and a girl, and they're getting it on. And one of the more graphic sex scenes in Friday the 13th, it gets pretty crazy. And it's kind of funny, too, because those actors were actually dating in real life and had previously broken up before they shot this scene, so they have to like muster up whatever. They probably hate each other's guts. You know, hopefully not though. Not all breakups are like that, but you know, I got to imagine that's because they were like naked, and you can tell they were fucking naked. So having to muster up whatever kind of romantic chemistry you can had to have been very awkward. And it's all I always think about that when I watch this. When I watch this movie and I watch this scene, rather, when I watch that scene. But all of that immediately goes out of the window when Jason, who is now still in the coroner's body at this point, takes this long, I don't even know what you'd call it. It's just this long, pointy pole. Basically, that's all you need to know. I forget exactly what it was. It was some sort of tool or something. It's a stabby thing. And he rips through the tent, and the girl is currently, I'm going to be as non-graphic as I can here, but she is on top and is vertical. You can, you know, get what you're buying what I'm selling. You get what I'm saying. But anyway, so she is on top, and her night immediately becomes pretty fucking shitty. Because that pole just goes right through her chest, and the he's on bottom, and he's laying there fucking freaking out, and it's not over. I watched the unrated cut, and that is the way you need to watch this movie, because you see the pole sticking out through her, but Jason's not done, and one of the most brutal kills of Friday the 13th, easily, he yanks the pole up and when he does, her whole body just splits in half. Crazy. Like, just absolutely insane, brutal, gory as hell. And it's my kill of the film. Well, guys, that'll do it for now. Next week, or next time, I shouldn't say next week. Next time, we will be talking about Jason X. That's right, we're going to space, motherfuckers. Oh boy, I'm excited. Anyways, guys, have a good rest of your day. Take care of each other and keep watching horror. Have a good one.